agriculture. Commercialization of agriculture. That's the next topic. Commercialization of agriculture. Okay. Now, can you make some guess that what is commercialization of agriculture? If you will have to define, how will you define this concept of commercialization of agriculture? Define karo in your own languages. What will be the definition? Okay. Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Akash. वेरी गुड. इट मीन्स देखो इन इंडिया ट्रेडिशनली ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कैश क्रॉप्स ग्रो नहीं करते थे. ऑब्वियसली वी आर ऑल्सो ग्रोइंग कैश क्रॉप्स फॉर फ्रॉम एंशियंट टाइम्स. एंशियंट टाइम में क्यों लिख रहा हूँ? बिकॉज एंशियंट टाइम्स वी वर ग्रोइंग सिल्क ना. आपको पता है वी वर ग्रोइंग व्हाट? कॉटन. देयर इज ऑलरेडी व्हाट? सिल्क रूट. इसका मतलब यस, इंडियंस वेर ग्रोइंग कैश क्रॉप्स. ओके, दिस इज ट्रू. इंडियंस वेर ऑलरेडी ग्रोइंग कैश क्रॉप. ऐसा नहीं कि हमने नया सीख लिया. नहीं, वी आर ग्रोइंग कैश क्रॉप्स, बट वी आर ऑल्सो ग्रोइंग फूड क्रॉप्स. Food crops, cash crops, food crops. And when we are saying food crops, it means that is required for the consumption of our family. That is required for the consumption of our family. Okay, we are growing food crops. And where we are growing cash crops, silk crops. Okay, so here, for example, in ancient time, okay, we know that Kushana rulers were dominating this trade route, which was called Silk Route. Okay, China to Europe. Okay, so we were doing what? We were providing silks here. So this silk was exported, and gradually, when we will do export, we will get foreign currency or precious metal or bullion in return. And in this way, okay, economic prosperity. That was the phase of economic prosperity. So this is one reason. Now in British times, what will happen? British times, what will happen? Now look here one thing. Our export of cash crops is decided or defined by the needs of Indian economy. ध्यान देना. Kushanas were promoting export of silk, and it was defining the need of Indian economy. If we are exporting silk, we are getting revenues in return. Got it? And this was not forced commerce, forced silk production. लोगों से जबरदस्ती सिल्क का प्रोडक्शन नहीं करवाया जाता था. That is the most important thing. That you are given freedom. You can do this crop production willingly. Cash crop का production willingly कर सकते हो. Now when East India Company will come in British time, what will happen? A change. One is what? Food crops, and on other side I am writing here cash crop. So here what will happen? Cash crop was given priority over food crop. That is point number one. So write this. Cash crops were given priority over food crop. Cash crops were given priority over food crops. That is point number one. Cash crops were given priority over food crop. And second point, क्या हो रहा है? Okay, which cash crops Indians have to grow? Who is deciding? Company is deciding. And company is deciding looking at its demand in the European market. Company is intermediary. So who will get maximum benefit? Company will get maximum benefit. So read this. Okay, the nature of cash crops, the nature of cash crops that are to be grown. Read this. The nature of cash crops that are to be grown is also decided by EIC. The nature of cash crops that are to be grown is also decided by company. Is also decided by company. It means here you have to grow which crop? It is selective. It is selective. Nature of cash crop is selective. And which crops are selected? So those crops which are very high in demand, very high in demand in the European market, they will be selected. Those crops which are very high in demand in European markets will be selected. For example, indigo. Why indigo will be very high in demand in European market? Because there was textile revolution and synthetic colors were not discovered till then. Indian indigo was very rich blue in color, so that's why indigo. Cotton, silk, ये तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. Cotton will be there, silk will be there because there is industrial revolution. Cotton, silk, indigo. This all will support what? Yes, jute bhi aayega. This all will support what? Industrial revolution. Then, right, opium, tea, sugar, black pepper. इसके अलावा भी other commodities are there. Opium, okay, tea, sugar, opium, tea, sugar, black pepper, etc. So there are many such raw materials, okay, cash crops which are being produced in India. Okay, now what will happen? This is selective. Okay, what you have to grow is deciding company, and it is deciding according to the needs of Britain. ब्रिटेन को किससे फायदा हो सकता है? इफ कंपनी विल गेन प्रॉफिट्स इन इंडिया, अल्टीमेटली हु विल गेन प्रॉफिट्स? ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमी, क्योंकि कंपनी तो ब्रिटेन की ही है. एंड थर्ड एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, राइट, कैश क्रॉप का प्रोडक्शन क्या है? इट इज ऑल्सो पोस्ट सीओए, पोस्ट सीओए, पोस्ट कॉमर्शलाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, पोस्ट सीओए. Why we are saying post COA? Because, read this, peasants were compelled forcefully, peasants were compelled forcefully to grow these cash crops. Forcefully, उनको compel किया गया, peasants were compelled forcefully to grow these crops. ठीक है, they were compelled forcefully. So that's why we are saying it, okay, forced. Now I will discuss this nature, forced commercialization of agriculture, with a theme that is given in class 8 NCERT, that is niche and rayati cultivation. I will discuss this part. Till now UPSC has not selected this question for exam. In future they may choose this area. Okay, now niche and rayati, write this, niche and rayati method of cultivation. Class 8 NCERT mein hai. Okay, I will discuss, you can, niche and rayati method, niche and rayati method. These are the methods of indigo cultivation. Niche and rayati method of indigo cultivation. These are the two methods of indigo cultivation, and we all know that indigo is what? A cash crop. Indigo is a cash crop. And why we are learning this topic? The reason is that we could understand that how forced COA was promoted. So the basic objective of inclusion of this topic is to understand how forced COA was promoted by EIC. How forced COA was promoted by EIC. So I will start with this topic first, that is niche method of indigo cultivation. Okay, so read this first topic, that is niche method. Niche method of indigo cultivation. Niche method of indigo cultivation. Okay, the story is very interesting. And what is the story? Dekho, this is related to one important part, that is 1813 charter. Okay, read this, 1813 charter. 1813 charter. We'll discuss in detail later, but this reference is very much important. 1813 charter did what? Okay, 1813 charter, you all know that EIC monopolistic rights over trade were taken back except exception. Dekho, we all know that from dual system of governance time, the company critics were demanding कि companies monopolistic rights must be taken back. पता है ना, आपको बताया था लॉर्ड क्लाइव वाली कहानी. Companies monopolistic rights were taken back, and under the pressure mounted by these critics, government introduced regulating act 1773. But the demand was still continued कि नहीं, कंपनी की मोनोपोलिस्टिक राइट्स आपको क्या करनी है, वापस लेनी है. इफ यू विल टेक back the monopolistic rights of company, it simply means that others will also get the opportunity to come to India to do trade and commerce in India. यहाँ क्या हो रहा है 1813 के चार्टर से, government announced that the monopolistic rights of company is taken back, but there are two exceptions where company will still have the monopoly. तो याद रखना 1833 में क्या था, कंपनी की मोनोपोलिस्टिक राइट्स ऑफ ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स वाज टेकन अवे. इट डज नॉट मीन दैट कंपनी विल नॉट डू ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स, इट मीन्स दैट अदर्स विल आल्सो एंटर. मेरी बात समझ गए ना, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि कंपनी ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स नहीं करेगी, नहीं, अदर्स विल एंटर, इसका मतलब ये है. So here what will happen, read this, monopolistic rights of company were taken back, but okay, except two areas, except two areas. One area was tea trade, and the second was trade with China. This is a very important fact for prelims, लिख लेना. This is a very important fact for prelims. When someone asks you that companies monopolistic rights were taken, you will say that 1830, but it was monopolistic rights were ended completely or partially in 1813. Not completely, it was partially. So read this. Here monopolistic rights were ended partially, not completely. Here monopolistic rights were ended partially, not completely. Monopolistic rights were ended partially, not completely. Monopolistic right यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, it was ended partially, not completely. Two rights were retained. One is tea trade and the second is trade with China. It means tea trade केवल और केवल कौन कर सकता है, ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी. चाइना के साथ ट्रेड कौन कर सकता है, अदर्स ऑल्सो. What does it mean? It means that the gates of India were now open for the other individual traders and merchants of Great Britain. अब वो यहाँ आ सकते हैं. So read this. It also means that the gates of India now were open for all. Gates of India now were open for all. All means other individual traders and merchants of Great Britain. वो इंडिया में आ सकते हैं, अदर इंडिविजुअल ट्रेडर्स एंड मर्चेंट्स ऑफ ग्रेट ब्रिटेन. और 1833 में क्या हुआ था, जरूरत हमें केवल इसी टॉपिक की है, बट यू मस्ट नो दैट 1833 द कंपनीज मोनोपोलिस्टिक राइट्स वर एंडेड कंप्लीटली. ये टी और ट्रेड विद चाइना इसको भी खत्म कर दिया गया. तो इसी सीक्वेंस में लिख लो so that it will be able for you to recall. So यहाँ पे लिख लेना 1833 charter. 1833 charter. Read this. Companies monopolistic rights were ended completely. Companies monopolistic rights were ended completely. पूरी तरह से क्या हुआ, खत्म कर दिया गया. Companies monopolistic rights were ended completely. Now 1813 के बाद क्या हो रहा है, अदर प्राइवेट ट्रेडर्स और बिजनेसमैन कैन कम टू इंडिया. वो इंडिया आ सकते हैं. बहुत लंबे समय से वो इंतज़ार कर रहे थे कि इंडिया चले. इंडिया में ज़्यादा गेट्स ऑफ इंडिया बताया था ना एक स्टेटमेंट, ओके, दैट ईच एंड एवरी यूरोपियन ग्रुप वांट टू कम बट नन ऑफ देम वांट टू रिटर्न फ्रॉम हियर. ओके, डिफरेंट मल्टीपल गेट्स टू कम, 100 gates to come, but not a single to return. It means that they don't like to return because they are getting huge benefits here. Now what is happening here is that suppose we all are the British merchants and traders. Now we decided that we will go to India and we'll do trade and commerce. So when we will come to India, we will focus on the most profitable trade. And what was the most profitable cash crop? It was indigo. Suppose I am a British merchant, okay, or British merchant, Mr. John arrives India. British merchant, Mr. John arrives India. उसके पास पैसा है, बहुत सारा पैसा. He will come to India, he will invest money, okay, and he will do business. So he decides that I will do what? Indigo cultivation. I can earn a lot of profit from this indigo cultivation. So for indigo cultivation, you need what? A farm. एक farm चाहिए ना आपको. So he will do what? He has a lot of money. He will come to India and he will do what? He will possess land first. he will possess land first. Either he will take this land on rent, or he can also purchase this land. He can also purchase this land. ठीक है ना? हालांकि ये परचेज करने का राइट कब मिला? 1833 के चार्टर से मिला. That the British can come to India, they can settle in India, they can purchase lands in India. ये 1833 के चार्टर से मिला था. 1813 के चार्टर से क्या था कि they can come to India, they can do trade and commerce. तो यहाँ पे वो क्या कर सकते थे? They can take the land on rent. वो रेंट पे ले सकते थे. बहुत आसान सा कॉन्सेप्ट है. 1833 के चार्टर ने क्या किया था? It had allowed different European, it had allowed British traders and merchants to come to India. They can settle in India, they can purchase lands in India. तो यानी कि इनके पास ऑप्शन दोनों था. If you will take both these 2 years, either they can take the land on rent or they can purchase the land. After that, what will they do? After this, read this, they will purchase, okay, all tools, agricultural tools and equipments, all tools and equipments that are needed for indigo cultivation. ये भी खरीद लिया. अब आपके पास लैंड भी है. You have all the tools and equipments that are needed for indigo cultivation. ये भी हो गया आपके पास, all tools and equipments that are needed for indigo cultivation. Now tell me one thing. Indigo cultivation is what? Labor intensive industry or capital intensive industry? क्या है ये? Labor intensive. So lastly you will need what? Okay, workers, indigo peasants. ये चाहिए. ठीक है? So we all know that this is what? A kind of labor intensive industry. This is a labor intensive industry. So what was the ultimate requirement? The ultimate requirement was the laborers or workers who will work on this farm. Who will work on this farm. ये तो आपको चाहिए ही. बिना लेबर और वर्कर्स के आप काम नहीं कर सकते. You need what? Laborers or workers who will work on your farm. This is your ultimate requirement. Now what will happen? The harvesting season of indigo crop and the harvesting season of some popular food crops, okay, were the same. And now the peasants are busy in their own farms. Now you are asking them that I will pay you money. Peasants will say, हम क्या करेंगे money का? खर्चा कहाँ करेंगे? Okay. So what will happen? You want manpower, you want laborers, workers to work on this farm, but the peasants are already busy in their own farms. So what will happen? This was the one of the most important challenge faced by the indigo planters. Planters means owners of these indigo farms or plantations. That scarcity of labor, okay, they were not unable to get workers to work on this farm. So ultimately this model will be successful or this model will be failed. This model will be failed. ये model क्या हो जाएगा? Fail हो जाएगा. And this model is called niche cultivation method. इसी को क्या कहते हैं? Niche cultivation method. This model was not very much successful. This was not very much successful. This model was not very much successful. What is the reason here? You can write that the indigo planters, you can say that owner of these plantations were the British people. They were the British people, British capitalists. Okay, so they were unable to get the workers. So there was a scarcity of labor. They were unable to get the workers here. So there was the scarcity of labor. A scarcity of labor bhi hai. Okay, a scarcity of labor. Okay, and as a result, this model will not prove to be successful. ये model successful नहीं होगा. This model will not prove to be successful in India. So British are very smart. जब एक model नहीं successful होता है तो they will bring another model. Okay, they are very smart people. So now they will bring what? Another model. Write this. Okay, so this model did not prove successful. So read this. They introduced another model, that is alternative model, and this is called Rayati system of indigo cultivation. This is called Rayati system of indigo cultivation. They will bring this model. rayate system of indigo cultivation. Now what is this model? We will just try to understand with the help of a story. Okay, that what is this rayate system of indigo cultivation. Suppose this is a village. Okay, suppose this is village, and there are different peasants who have different size of farms. Okay, there are different peasants who have different size of farms. This is village. मान लेते हैं इस village का नाम है बदलापुर. Right, this is the village Badlapur. There are different villages. Okay, peasants who are having their own land. और यहाँ पे ये क्या कर रहा है? These people are growing agricultural crops. Now this is the house of Mr. John. Mr. John. Mr. John is a capitalist, British capitalist. He has a lot of money. So first he will recruit an Indian middleman. सबसे पहले किसको recruit करेगा? An Indian middleman को. So first he will recruit a representative. First he will recruit an Indian middleman. An Indian middleman. ठीक है? Suppose this is the Indian middleman. Okay, and he is very expert in convincing people. Convincing people. Indian middleman is very expert in convincing people. Suppose this Indian middleman is Akash. चलो आकाश को बना लेते हैं Indian middleman. ठीक है? Now Akash will go and meet the villagers, and Akash will say that Mr. John had sent me, and I have a very good proposal for you, and this is an opportunity which will change your life. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity. ठीक है, जब भी किसी को बेवकूफ़ बनाना होता है तो ये पहला लाइन होता है, डोंट मिस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. ठीक है? ओके, so Mr. John had sent whom? Akash, and Akash is asking villagers that I am the representative of Mr. John, and Mr. John has a very good offer for all of you, for all the villagers, and this opportunity is going to change your life. Don't miss this opportunity. अब जब ऐसे आकाश कहेंगे तो villagers will listen. Villagers will say that tell us what is the offer or what is the proposal. Now Akash will say that Mr. John had said that okay, you have to grow indigo on your farms. तो इंडिगो का नाम सुनते ही गांव वाले उठ के जाने लगे, अरे अरे बेवकूफ़ बनाने आया. राइट? आकाश विल से दैट नहीं बैठ जाओ, थोड़ी देर और बैठ जाओ, थोड़ी देर मेरी बात सुनो, प्रवचन सुनो. ठीक है, आगे डिसाइड करना तो फिर से बच्चे बैठ जाएंगे. ठीक है, प्रवचन फिर शुरू होगा. नाउ आकाश विल से व्हाट? आकाश विल से दैट यू डोंट हैव टू ग्रो इंडिगो ऑन ऑल योर फार्म. सारे फार्म पे इंडिगो नहीं ग्रो करना है, ओनली 1/4. एक बार करके देखो, दिस इज जस्ट एन एक्सपेरिमेंटल. यू आर गोइंग टू गेट अ लॉट ऑफ बेनिफिट्स. तो बीच में से एक पीजेंट उठा. सपोज दिस इज द पीजेंट हियर. पीजेंट का नाम है रोहित. रोहित सेड दैट ओके, just I want the offer of the proposal. And what Akash is saying? Akash is saying that okay, suppose this is the farm. So Akash will say that okay, you have to grow indigo on only 1/4 of your farm. 1/4 part, 1/4 portion of land you will grow indigo. का पूरे फार्म को मैं इंडिगो ग्रो करने की नहीं कह रहा हूँ. कितने में करो? 1/4 portion you will grow indigo. And we will give what? Advance payment to you to grow indigo. We will give advance payment. 1/4 part may you have to grow, plus what will happen? Advance payment will be given to you. Advance payment. So advance payment, giving advance payment to the indigo peasants was known as Dadani. DADANI. Right? Question PYQ of UPSC. Dadani. DADANI. Read this. The practice of giving advance payment to the peasants. The practice of giving advance payment to the peasants to grow indigo cultivation is called dadani. आपको क्या मिलेगा? Advance payment मिलेगा. ठीक है? You have to grow indigo. Plus, we will also do what? Provide you proper training. हम आपको प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग भी देंगे. प्लस वी विल ऑल्सो गिव यू वॉट एवर द इक्विपमेंट्स यू विल नीड. Whatever the equipments you will need, we will give you. We will give you proper training. We will give you advance payment. We will also provide you the support of giving equipments. Okay. right? We will give you all these things. And once indigo is cultivated, we will purchase this indigo from you and you will get surplus. Okay, and once you realize that this model is good, okay, तो हम आगे भी डील कर सकते हैं, but you can do it on experimental basis. You are going to gain a lot of benefits from this. Now the peasants are convinced. Peasants ने कहा यार ट्राई ही तो करना है, 1/4 हिस्से पे इंडिगो कल्टिवेट करना है, एक बार करके देखते हैं, पैसा भी नहीं लगने वाला है, वी आर गेटिंग एडवांस पेमेंट फॉर दिस, ट्रेनिंग भी मिल रही है, और बायर भी घर पे आके इंडिगो लेके जाएगा, आपको कहीं पहुंचाना नहीं है. द कंपनी ऑफिशियल्स विल कम, they will collect this indigo from your farm and they will take it with them. Now the peasant was convinced. Peasant convinced हो गया, and this is a trap. ये trap है. Peasant was convinced. When they gave this offer, now the peasant was convinced. Peasant हो गया convinced. Now what will happen after this? This is very interesting. One harvesting season was over. One harvesting season is over. The peasant is convinced. Now this is Rohit. Okay, and Rohit has grown indigo on 1/4 portion of his land. 1/4 portion of land में रोहित ने indigo grow किया है. Now the EIC officials will come and they will say that where is your indigo? Rohit will say that साहब this is indigo, यही है सामने पड़ा हुआ है, right? EIC officials will look at this indigo and they will say that क्या किया तुमने, हमने ऐसे ट्रेनिंग तुमको थोड़ी ना दी थी, we have not trained you like this. It seems that you have compromised, you are not honest in your work, okay, and you have violated the provisions of the treaty. We have paid you advance amount, we have paid you 1000 rupees, and the indigo which you have cultivated, okay, it you will get only 300 rupees for this indigo, so you will be paid how much, 300, and the advance you have taken is how much, 1000 rupees का एडवांस 1000 दिया, और तुमने इंडिगो कल्टिवेशन ठीक से किया नहीं है, तो जो आपका ये क्रॉप है हार्डली वी कैन ऑफर 300 rupees फॉर दिस. एंड नाउ रोहित इज नॉट अवेयर about the indigo price in the market of Bengal, in the market of European countries, because Rohit is not connected to the market. Price आपको पता नहीं है, and the company is saying that ये 1000 का indigo नहीं है, कितने का है, 300 का है. Now the company will say that you have two options. Option number 1, return our 700 rupees, and option number 2, sign agreement for the next time and promise us next time you are going to do hard labor, next time और मेहनत करोगे, promise करो. Now peasants will have the cash money in their hands, yes or no? No, cash money तो होता नहीं था. So now Rohit will think that okay, I will sign this agreement for the next time, और next time में क्या होगा, I will do hard labor, मेहनत भी आपसे करवाएंगे, बार बार कहेंगे काम अच्छा नहीं कर रहे हो, I will do hard labor and next time I will be able to repay the debt and I will also get some advantages, benefits. कंपनी ऑफिशियल्स विल से अगली बार मेहनत करो और पुराना डेब्ट भी चुका दोगे एंड यू विल गेट सम बेनिफिट्स आल्सो. नाउ रोहित साइंड दिस एग्रीमेंट फॉर द second time Rohit signed this agreement. Again harvesting season is over. Now company officials will come and they will say that इस बार भी हमने 1000 rupees तुमको दिया एडवांस. Now this time you have done comparatively good work, so this time we will pay you 500 rupees for your product. इस बार 500 rupees आपको देंगे. नाउ इधर रिटर्न अस हाउ मच, अब कितना रिटर्न करना है, यहाँ पे सरप्लस कितना था 700, यहाँ पे सरप्लस कितना हो गया 500, इधर रिटर्न अस 1200 rupees और साइन अनदर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. रिटर्न करो या साइन करो. अब तो पिछली बार वो 700 नहीं दे पाया था, अब वो 1200 कहाँ से देगा. नाउ यू विल से दैट नो आई एम अनेबल टू पे 1200. कंपनी विल से दैट साइन अनदर एग्रीमेंट, दोबारा एग्रीमेंट साइन करो. And in this way an Indian peasant is trapped in this cycle. अच्छा आपसे proper deed sign करवाया, you have signed agreement, so if you have some complaint, so revolts will not solve this problem. You will have to go to judiciary, and who has developed this system of judiciary? British East India Company. और उसमें भी क्या था, जुडिशरी में भी, ये भी बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. Okay, that if there are two parties, both parties are British, so only a European judge or British judge will Okay, take that case. But if suppose there is any dispute between two parties and one party is Indian, in that case there will be no any Indian judge. The judge will always be a British judge. अगर कोई भी डिस्प्यूट में दो पार्टी इन्वॉल्व है, उनमें एक पार्टी इंडियन है, एक पार्टी ब्रिटिश है, तो जज हमेशा कौन होगा? ब्रिटिश होगा कि इंडियन होगा? ब्रिटिश. नाउ द डिसीजन विल केम इन द फेवर ऑफ, किसके फेवर में डिसीजन आएगा? इज देयर एनी मीनिंग to go to judiciary to solve the dispute? No. The judicial system that was developed by British in India, the fundamentals were based on what? Discrimination. ऐसी जुडिशरी बनाई. तो यहाँ पे बताओ पीजेंट्स ट्रैप्ड हो गए कि नहीं? यस. एंड आफ्टर 2 or 3 हार्वेस्टिंग सीजन, ओके, द इंडिगो प्लांटर्स विल से दैट अब आपने 1/4 में कल्टीवेशन कर लिया, अब ये वाले पोर्शन की जगह यहाँ पे कल्टीवेशन करो, तो यू कैन ग्रो मोर इंडिगो. वो क्यों कह रहे हैं? वी ऑल नो indigo cultivation, if you will grow in one portion for the continuous 3 or 4 year, the soil will lose its fertility. So the second option is change it to the another portion. In this way the indigo peasants were trapped. Okay, they were not able to come out. So what will happen if you cannot go to judiciary? And even if you go to judiciary will not address your concern, so ultimately the indigo peasants will do what? Revolt. That is what? A revolt of indigo peasants. If your concerns are not addressed, then what will happen? You will do revolts. Got it? So which method was more better for the British people? Niz or Rayati? Rayati. Okay, Rayati means peasant. Here the settlement has been done with whom? Indigo peasant. Okay, that's why it is called Rayati. Rayat means peasant. Is it clear? Now can we say that the commercialization of agriculture in India was forced commercialization? We can say it or not? Yes or no? Yes. This is what? Forced commercialization. Okay, forced commercialization. Got it? Now, forced commercialization of agriculture. Agriculture topic, is it clear? Okay, indigo rebellion. जब rebellion हम पढ़ेंगे तो we will come to that part. Now I am coming to the another part. Now this part we have discussed completely agriculture related issues, land revenue policies. We have discussed this topic, commercialization of agriculture, and this all was doing what? Okay, agriculture production is declining, agriculture productivity was also declining. Okay, impoverishment of peasantry class, okay, this was happening. Now what will happen? Okay, now the other economic activities. Now let's discuss about the other economic activity. From ancient times in India, craft making was one of the most important economic activity. There was diversification of craft, and this diversification of craft was one of the reason for the economic prosperity of India from the ancient times. So write this point, that from ancient times itself, diversification of crafts, okay, was one of the major pillar for economic activities in India. Diversification of craft was one of the major pillar for the economic activities in India. Okay, for example, I am writing here, okay, cotton textile craft. Is this diversification of craft or not? Yes, cotton textile craft. In India, cotton textiles were made by this factory system of production, or it was a part of cotton spinning industry. हैंडीक्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री का हिस्सा था, दैट वाज अ क्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री, बिकॉज यहाँ इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन था नहीं, बट वी यूज दिस वर्ड इंडस्ट्री, ठीक है ना. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट दिस वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल क्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री एंड दैट इज कॉटन स्पाइनिंग इंडस्ट्री इन इंडिया. ये क्या था? कॉटन स्पाइनिंग इंडस्ट्री, कॉटन स्पाइनिंग industry, that is what? Traditional craft industry, cotton spinning industry and traditional craft industry. And we all know that textile crafts were, European markets were flooded with Indian textile goods. ये तो हमें पता था ना, before the British came to India. Now when British will came to India in 1760s, what will happen? You all know, industrial revolution in Britain and political control over India, both are simultaneous. Gradually what will happen? Which industry is the worst effect industry in India? Cotton textile. मतलब इसमें और भी चीजें आ गई, but this is symbolic. So you can write that this was worst affected. This was worst affected. ये सबसे ज्यादा affected, worst affected. British machine made goods did what? British machine made textiles. Machine made textiles were cheaper. They were cheap. वो cheaper थे. तो यूरोपियन मार्केट को भी ऑक्यूपाई कर लिया ब्रिटिश मशीन मेड कॉटन टेक्सटाइल्स ने. मशीन मेड टेक्सटाइल्स, दिस विल बी द बेटर यूज. गॉट इट? जैसे आपका एक्सपोर्ट यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में, तो दे ऑक्यूपाइड योर मार्केट आल्सो, एंड नॉट ओनली योर मार्केट आउटसाइड इंडिया, बट दे आल्सो ऑक्यूपाइड योर डोमेस्टिक मार्केट. So for India, there was an international market where India was exporting cotton. That was occupied by the British machine-made textiles, and domestic market was also occupied by the British machine-made textiles. So you can write that, okay, international market as well as domestic market, okay, for India, both were occupied by, okay, machine-made textile goods of Britain or factory-made textile goods of Britain, both were occupied. इंटरनेशनल मार्केट और इंटरनेशनल मार्केट, ब्रिटेन में एक्सपोर्ट डिक्लाइन हो जाएगा कि नहीं? यस. ओके, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट एंड डोमेस्टिक मार्केट बोथ वेयर occupied. Exports were affected or not? Yes or no? Yes, exports were affected. Exports were affected. When exports will be affected, what will happen? Economic activities related to this industry will decline or not? Yes, exports are affected. So write this, okay, write this. Manufacturing activities in India declined. Manufacturing activities in India declined. बताओ अर्बन सेंटर्स भी डिक्लाइन होंगे कि नहीं? Those urban centers which were famous for cotton textile, they will also decline. Write this, decline of many urban centers. For example, बनारस एक important center हुआ करता था, it declined. Okay, decline of many urban centers as a result. Decline of many urban centers as a result. Decline of many urban centers as a result. वो भी decline होगा. Okay, decline of many urban centers as a result. And its overall impact will be where? Unemployment will increase or not? Yes, unemployment will increase. Write this, unemployment will increase. बेरोजगारी बढ़ेगी. Okay, unemployment will increase. Now relate one thing. Agriculture is now more profitable or less profitable? Less profitable. And here textile industry, okay, unemployment is growing, increasing, and now the people are doing what? Flight from agriculture. They are leaving this occupation of agriculture और वो सोचते हैं कोई दूसरा काम धंधा कर ले. And what will happen? Do you have any alternate source of economic activity? No. It means the people are migrating from agriculture. Agriculture is not profitable and the other economic activities are also affected. So what will happen? Unemployment and poverty will increase or not? Yes. Your savings will be affected or not? Yes. Your savings will be affected. So write this, unemployment will increase, poverty will increase. Okay, connect करना है यहाँ पे चीजों को बस, ठीक है ना? Unemployment will increase, poverty will also increase. Unemployment बढ़ेगा, poverty बढ़ेगी. अच्छा, is it only about this cotton? No, it's also about wooden craft, wood craft, right? This wood craft, metal craft, craft भी कई तरह के हो सकते हैं. You can say wood craft, bamboo craft, metal craft, wood craft, bamboo craft, metal craft, metal craft, okay, pottery craft, pottery craft. So there can be, okay, various kind of craft activities. Okay, pottery craft, ज्वेलरीज हो सकता है, स्टोन क्राफ्ट हो सकता है. देयर वर डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ क्राफ्ट, ज्वेलरी क्राफ्ट, स्टोन क्राफ्ट,